I just want to say a few things about trans people for this Trans Day of Visibility. You know, the way we talk about trans people, you would think it was a new thing, but trans men and trans women and non-binary people have always existed. They've always been around. They're a very small percentage, less than 1% of the population, but they've always been here. And yes, they've always suffered some discrimination and ignorance, but by and large, they've just got on with their lives. And most trans people you wouldn't know are trans. They are men, they are women, sometimes non-binary. They go about their lives. And all of a sudden, in the last few years, these people have been demonized and othered for no apparent reason. It's happened because people with wealth and influence have decided that they want to divide our communities and they want to pit us against each other. So trans women who have lived their lives peacefully for 20, 30, 40 years suddenly are being told that they can't go into the ladies' toilet. They've been doing this all this time, and no women or men or anyone else have ever noticed. But now suddenly they're being told that they can't do that. So we're telling these women they now need to go into the gents' loos. And what we want trans men who have beards and look like men and live as men, we want them to go into the ladies. We don't really want that though, do we? And the Women's Institute, who's been inclusive, who has trans women among its members, has been told that those women, their friends, they now have to exclude them. And Girl Guides have been told that they have to exclude young girls who are girls and live their lives as girls who may have been born as boys, but then they are now girls and they've got to be excluded from the Girl Guides. None of this makes any sense. This is not benefiting anybody. There's this idea that's put about by popular culture, by rich people, and in the populist press, that somehow trans women are a threat to other women. But there's no evidence for this. There's no evidence at all. Trans women don't attack other women. Why would they? Trans women are twice as likely to be victims of violence as all other women. And as we know, we have an epidemic of violence against women. And who is perpetrating that? It's men. It's men. Men who may well disguise themselves as husbands and boyfriends and bosses and the bloke down the pub. But nonetheless, they are men and they're living their lives as men. They don't disguise themselves as women in order to attack women. No, 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 no. So this idea that somehow trans women are a threat, nothing could be further from the truth. Trans women are vulnerable to violence, as vulnerable or more vulnerable than everyone else. And the idea somehow that trans women are living their lives against biology. Well, it is their biology. Your gender is made up of lots of things. Yes, it's made up of genitalia, it's made up of hormones and mental development and physical development and chromosomes. There are many, many aspects to your expressed gender. And the idea that you were born with one set of genitalia or another, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. And we've been saying as women, as feminists, don't just define us by our bodies, don't just define us by our genitalia. We are so much more than that. And now all of a sudden we want to define these women by their genitalia and call them men. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. And if you know trans people, trans women, trans men, non-binary people, you would know it doesn't make any sense. All these opinions just come from ignorance. I know quite a lot of trans people, and the trans people I know are either very angry or very scared or both right now. I know some who have left the country to live elsewhere because they believe that the UK is no longer a welcoming place for them. I know people who have lived their lives in their gender for many, many years, and no one else knows that they were born with another assigned sex. And now they're scared stiff that they're going to be outed. They're scared that people are going to want to look at their genitals when they go to the bathroom. They're scared to go out, some of them. Some of them are just very angry that for some reason they're apparently now being blamed for a set of crimes just because of who they are. This smacks of some previous prejudices against other groups in our communities, things that now we think we would be horrified by. And we mustn't be ghettoizing and singling out trans women or anybody for particular crimes just because of who they are. It's wrong. So I want to say to all our trans sisters and brothers and non-binary folks on the Trans Day of Visibility, I see you, I stand with you, and I will fight for your rights.